For those people watching us today, it would be great if you could introduce us to the Phundex solution. So in a nutshell, what is it and why is it such a game changer?
Right. So I spent a lot of time working with clients trying to help them streamline the way they do business and corral some of the technology that they were using to make it work to their advantage. And there are all kinds of really great and interesting tools out there that solve individual problems across the investment lifecycle. But what I found was it was all those pieces in between, all that individual bits and pieces that are pretty manual, and I'm going to tie it together with a string that is Excel, that we never really get to, because in large organizations you've got the spaghetti junction of all kinds of different kinds of technology. In smaller organizations, it's easier to grab something that's very simple and off the shelf, which is Excel or a Trello board or something like that. And it occurred to me, if we could build something that was really super easy to use, that didn't need to be plumbed into the rest of the technology that people had with a lot of difficulty, that could be a real game changer. It would mean people could reduce the amount of manual effort they do and free up their time to do something more value added for their clients. And that was the basic genesis of Phundex. Was, if I haven't been able to find something that does what I want it to do, it must be time for me to try and build it myself.
Can you tell me a little bit about the process you went through to come up with the idea and boil it down to what is the Phundex solution itself?
Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time on this. I have learned by bitter experience that jumping in with what you think works isn't always the best way to do it. So it's really a question of what's the real problem we're dealing with here and how are we going to make it work. Even more importantly in this case was, we knew a lot of our clients would either be regulated or be working in a regulated space. And so we had to make sure that it was robust enough and had the right level of security so that we'd be able to have people on the platform using it without worrying about their regulatory requirements. But actually, it was fundamental to map out what were the different ways we thought people might join into Phundex. How might they be doing transactions or processes with other stakeholders in their community? And having mapped that out, it became much easier to really get our head around what did we need the underlying technology to do.
Well, how did you find the approach with us, and what do you think the special sauce was that allowed us to turn all of these ideas into the solution that we have today?
From the beginning of the journey, I've been thinking about, what does this mean for the client who's going to use it? How is it going to improve the work that they do? How is it going to reduce the mindless admin that they do and free up their capacity to do other things? And that's exactly what your team was, that user experience. How do we make this work from a customer perspective? How do we make it more streamlined and simple for them as well? And that mesh of business side and tech side, but consultancy around it, because we've both done consultancy, really gave us a good starting point of what does good look like for the clients.
What's the value that Phundex brings?
There are a whole host of different types of users for the platform. Let's focus on what will it help people do. It will help people manage processes and transactions across multiple jurisdictions and multiple stakeholders. So it'll let you have a single place for you to manage those transactions that heretofore you've been managing through a series of emails and tracker boards and whatever you've got. And let me give you a couple of examples of the types of clients it could be. Maybe it's a fund that's setting up a new fund and they're coordinating with a general manager, an investment manager, a couple of lawyers, a couple of accountants, and multiple jurisdictions. So they're able to track the process of getting everything ready for the fund on a single platform with a single source of data. It might be a venture capitalist that's looking at working with a new startup and helping them build up their business and actually get ready to go out to fund and then do the funding process. And this will help both sides track where they are in that process. It might also be a fund manager or a trust company service provider who are doing some of the administrative activities they need to do. Maybe it's their business risk management or their financial processes. Fundamentally, we think it will help people reduce the amount of manual effort they've got, really streamline and have access to the activity that they need to do in a much cleaner fashion, and significantly reduce operational risk, because you won't be sitting there 3 months later going, God, we closed that deal. Did we actually get that document we said we were going to do? which is what one of our clients said to us a couple of months ago. Oh, you mean I would be able to see that I'd actually got that document signed because I could see the task was ticked off? Yeah.
That would never happen, right? I guess one of the different things about this project was we recommended a platform for you to use, which is a low-code platform called OutSystems. And the reason we recommended that was for the massive improvements in speed, along with a lot of other architectural benefits that come out of the box. It's sort of ready to go, but allows us to move much faster than building everything from scratch with handcrafted code. Do you think that the platform delivered on that promise?
I didn't want it to be technology driving the business. I wanted it to be business driving the technology. But the benefit of using OutSystems with the DB team was we could actually deliver quite quickly and see what that outcome would look like. And that was incredibly powerful. Even today, as we're looking at stuff, because we're doing some enhancements as we get the initial clients on, we're looking at stuff and we're able to turn it around really quickly, which is really powerful.